Live from the den.
Live from the den. If you tuning in, we appreciate you. Right here in the studio, you know how we do it, live from the den every Wednesday night, 8:30 somewhere, but it's only 7:30 here.
Yes, it is. It's always one of those type of weeks, man. Only on this good Wednesday, 7:30. Just tapping in, man. It's always a pleasure to be able to tap in with the people in the way we do. We have a great one, great conversation, great type of engagement tonight for tonight's show. We also got some things coming up live from the den, also with the Giants Den too. But first and foremost, brother, how you feeling?
I'm feeling fine. My bacon is good and I'm feeling fine. I want to make sure. So I just want to make sure we all good on the mics. If you out there and you in the chat right now listening to live from the den, we appreciate you. Let us know if you hear any feedback. Let's hit this air conditioner right here.
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, let's hit this AC. As you know, AC, we love the AC, man. Black dudes love AC, man, but the audio does not love AC, so we take it off. Big weekend, man. Big weekend. Especially for us, as for one, we are black. We are descendants of the enslaved Africans who were here that built this country. Right. So Juneteenth was a huge a day for our people. We had great times that day, and then we also have Father's Day. So before we get into our actual topic, man, let's check in from the weekend, man. Like how did you experience? Let's separate those.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it was interesting, Juneteenth and Father's Day on the same day. But how did you experience each of those days? What did you put your time toward?
Absolutely. And so for Juneteenth, it's funny how those days stacked up too. It's like we're gonna put Juneteenth and Father's Day. I know it wasn't intentional, but you know how those things work. Just the significance of what you spoke of about Juneteenth and the weekend. It was great seeing people. First of all, Leimert Park. If you're from the LA area, you understand the historical contents of Leimert Park, but just seeing Black people in abundance, celebrate themselves. So Juneteenth, and however you did that, where it was chilling with your fam, you out with Leimert Park, you out in different areas and celebrating. That's solid. And then Father's Day, of course, it's this day to recognize and to choose, how you want to be received for recognition, how like the time. And so for myself, both of those things was solid. And then that's what it was.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm over here. If you're looking at the YouTube, hopefully, I'm gonna hand this to you, man.
Oh,
hopefully
problem.
They can see us because I didn't press the button to hit us. Yeah, absolutely. For myself, it was a social anxiety. Even though I get a lot of invitations, very happy to get the invitations. Very honored to show up to a lot of these places. But when I leave, I'll be beat. So Saturday did Warrior Ball, which is great. Shout out to our family out there at Warrior Ball, right on Dockwater Beach. We playing with an 8-pound medicine ball. We're tossing this 8-pound medicine ball in a competitive fashion, 5-on-5 across a volleyball net in the sand. So it's beautiful. A lot of Black. There's a lot of people out there, but it's definitely the culture is there. The exercise in the community is there. So did that first. Then went into like a friend's party, and it was that was just Juneteenth. And the next day, try to take it a little easier. End up spending a lot of time with my family. So it wasn't just my day. It was a great day for my family to get together on Sunday. So it seemed like Sunday was yesterday, but it's Wednesday.
Right. That's how the days is moving.
Like, it's Wednesday. This morning, y'all know that in the den every 5:15 a.m. we do a virtual call with our leadership network. So if this is your first time listening, my name is Devontae Green. I'm the proud founder and CEO of the Giants Den, also the proud co-host here of Live from the Den. And I'm going to let my co-host introduce himself as well.
Absolutely. I appreciate the reintroduction. So like Devontae said, it's your first time. My name is Danny Crumble. I like to call myself Danny the Counselor. I'm a proud co-founder of the Giants Den and also co-host of Live from the Den. And we did have our 5:15 call, our 5:15 morning call, which we engaged in. I'm gonna hand this back to you, man. Keep us holler at me. So I'm gonna real quick.
All right. Good. Yes, absolutely. All right. So if just want to make sure y'all can hear us out there in TV land, everybody can hear us. Are you able to hear us out there, Keith?
Nah.
Okay, I can stop.
Yeah, you say uh we in the we recording time.
Hit
I think
play.
I hit play on that one. No, it just says recording time. All right, bet. Let me go ahead and stop that. Got you. All right.
What's up? What's up, everybody? It's DJ. No, I'm just kidding with y'all. Yo, we have some technical difficulties. If you're just joining us, or if you been waiting for the show to drop and we're a few minutes late, we apologize. Appreciate you rocking with us. D Green on purpose. That is who I am. I'm the proud co-host of Live from the Den.
Yes, indeed. Danny Crumble, the counselor, proud co-host of Live from the Den. And just like life, man, it's always it can always present some technical difficulties, you know. But luckily we are in position to troubleshoot those things, and we happy to be here with y'all this Wednesday night.
Absolutely. So we went through a few things. I don't think that we talked about our weekends. We had good weekends. Father's Day, Juneteenth, we Black, we fathers. We had a great weekend, but really don't want to take away from the actual topic of today.
Mm-hmm.
The topic of today. So a little context about all the things that we share. Everything that we share is to make sure that you, those who are rocking with us, listening to our show, sharing this with, if you share this with somebody, or if this was shared with you, we want to make sure that you leave here feeling better, feeling like you have more tools, you have more perspective to do the things that you need to do in your life to make your goals come true. So we're not saying that, we're going to give you the magic pills. We're going to talk a lot about our experiences and the experiences of the Leadership Network.
Absolutely.
That we actually oversee, and use those learnings to really impart some game with you. So the topic today is something that my dad used to always say. I'd be like, man, I just really did. Hey, Dad, I just got this thing done. I'm super excited about it. He wouldn't try to rain on my parade, but he'll say,
rain on my parade.
Yeah, son, but you not out the woods yet.
And
I didn't really understand what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
Juneteenth just passed. We talk about Harriet Tubman. We talking about the Underground Railroad. That ain't what Juneteenth is about. When you think about like a lot of the conditions in which our people were in when they were trying to leave these plantations and leave this bondage and this slavery, they might be in the woods. Whoa, we made it. We made it away from there. Yeah, but we still in the woods though. You know what I'm saying? There's still things that could happen that we need to be vigilant of, be mindful of. So the show topic today is you're not out the woods yet.
And that's powerful. And because we talk about these tools and these things that could grow us, and it's about experiences. Like it's mentorship. Mentorship typically comes from an experience that I've gained through personal experience, through consequences, through some stuff I had to go through, or some things I intentionally learned, and I'm able to lace you with that game. So Pops was coming from that perspective of knowing what it is to get out of certain situations of being in the woods. So he was able to identify, like, nah, he in the woods. He think it's, it's all peachy keen. He think it's cracking. But let me identify these things. And for me, that resonates because I love that quote. It resonates for don't get comfortable with being comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Or don't allow your comfort to set in, thinking like you all out of it. Things present itself in a way of like, no, yeah, you made it through a loophole. You made it through one challenge, but there's a different level to every level that you feel like you unlocked or unleashed. And so you're not at the woods yet, just resonates in so many different perspectives and categories. But I think we can take time to break this thing down. And if you are listening to the show, feel free to join us in the chat. You feel free to call in. I think we know how to answer the phone now. You can call us at 323-900-0478. You can call in and talk to us live, interact with us on the chat, to give your perception, or if you've had an experience of feeling like you were in the woods, and either you think you were out the woods and you realize you still in the woods, or like, what does that mean to you? Breaking that down. And so we gonna do that from our perspective throughout this conversation. And I'm always a fan and curious to sit back and listen. So, for yourself, like you said, it was your pops that laced you, with that game or that perspective, and at the time you were hearing it, were you getting it, or were you able to conceptualize some kind of meaning of what that meant for you at the time? And then what does that mean now for you?
Oh man, I think I got it, but I also felt like, man, he trying to rain on my parade, man. What you mean they ain't out the woods, bro? I just did X, Y, bro. I just graduated. I didn't, just beat this felony, handle all my business there. My baby mama ain't tripping, she cool. You know what I mean? Like all these different things. And he'd be like, yeah, but you're not out the woods yet. So, it's a way, I know we often talk about the word humility, but I think it's a way to stay grounded, understand the long term, even when they say it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's like, yeah, you can sprint real fast and be out in front of everybody, but you're not done with this race yet. Very same. You know what I mean? So I think with myself, I've been experiencing a lot of victories.
Yeah.
As far as things that I set out for myself, I'll definitely set some goals and some disciplines ahead for myself, and I've been able to see them happen. See all that hype, all the stuff I was talking about. Whether it be like wanting to own my own business, wanting to be have a more healthy lifestyle or active lifestyle, wanting to get certain invitations, hold certain positions, and be in a certain influential position.
Right.
I've experienced those things, and I'm not out the woods yet because I realized that I'm just a baby in this game. There's so much learning. I had to almost, I did this self assessment where I'm like, okay, or self inventory, around things that I actually lacked in, and how lacking in those areas might impede on me achieving my goals. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, oh shit, you actually got a lot of learning to do, or you actually got some rebuilding to do, or you're not at the bottom, right? You're not starting from zero, you're starting from experience, right? So I don't feel like I'm starting from zero and like I need to restart over everything, but it did like kind of have me to say, all right, stop the press.
Right. Because man, and that's such a valid point. And like yourself, like you mentioned, I've been on a lot of self-inventory, a lot of reflection, and just trying to be real as possible with myself. Thinking about it like a wheel of assessment. And if you could rate yourself in these various categories of like financial, physical, emotional, right? Like out of a 10, how we do price check-in.
Yeah.
But being 100% real with yourself and taking that data, that you have for yourself, and then being real and implementing the things that'll grow you, because that's what we talk about on this show. And for myself, I had a lot of experience of such in sports, so I'm able to take those concepts, right, and then make them applicable to other areas as you talked about. So when I'm trying to show up physically, I'm trying to show up a certain way professionally, I'm trying to show up a way, I'm able to then have a gauge. And then the older mentors, I even say older, the more experienced people that are versed in these subjects are wanting to recognize and also lace game and break down, well, you're not out the woods yet. I use, let's say, the NBA right now, the Golden State Warriors just won the NBA title. They've been to 4 championships in 6 years. So there are key players on that team that been there as a group, as a unit, and they're adding on other players. So they win a playoff series, and you may have a player that haven't been to the championship or the pinnacle before, and they celebrate in a way as they did. That's being in the woods, thinking like, oh yeah, we did this. And then there are other players that have that experience and that are poised, and it's like, no, we haven't done nothing yet. The goal is to win the championship. It feels good to win a playoff game, to get near the goal. That means you're climbing closer and closer, but you haven't achieved said thing. And we need those experiences. We need those people. Being out the woods for me, I didn't always have the greatest mentors. I didn't always know how to seek mentorship, or I've had key people, right? But if we think about that, it's like I may have won a playoff game and thought that was it. And it took me to lose to be like, oh, I'm coming back next year. None of this is promised. We'll be thinking about that. Like, none of it is promised. So I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I'm coming back next year. But your youth is not, it's not infinite. You know what I'm saying? These things are not forever. So you ain't gonna have that ability to continue to make those mistakes. So shout out to your pops for being a perspective and leveraging experience and be like, no, I can see that. I can see that celebratory feeling. And I'm not trying to raid on your parade, son. What I'm trying to do is get you to a place of poise and a place of what I like to call player to identify that you're going to continue to ascend. So you can't be complacent in this space right here because this ain't it. It's not it for you. It's not a championship. You want a playoff game. Cool. You want a playoff series. Cool. You ain't touched that trophy. You ain't kissed that trophy yet.
Yeah. Hey, and then the trophy continues to evolve.
They got 4 championships. Let me say that.
Because I also think, you know, when it comes to life, like the reality is you got to be willing to work for something that you might not ever see. And this is for big goals. I don't know who listen to this shows, but you know, this for big goals. Those who got big goals, you might not even see what you working for. The work itself is the game, the love of the game. You know, like Money Making Mitch. And I love the game, B. I love this shit. I love the crowd. You know, like when I think about wanting to be successful, for example, everybody has a different thing that they want to be successful with. But you want to get to this place where you're in overflow and abundance, and there's also this level of happiness. You want your financial and your emotional peaks to like meet. I want to be as happy, as peaceful as I can be. Well, I want to be at peace, and I want to have my money, and I want to have love around me. Like, how long must one work to get to that level in a sustainable way? I would imagine damn near forever. So, you know, a part of me knows I would never be out the woods fully. You know what I mean? Because you don't get out the woods. This is life. If you stop trying, you'll stop getting. You know what I mean? If you stop applying yourself, you'll stop reaping the benefit. So it's like, yeah, and that's not only a financial thing. It's like, how do you know, you get yourself into this physical peak state, and then you just start eating whatever and stop being physically active, and just like
it'll go quick.
It'll go away.
Quickly.
You know, so it ain't, you know, you got a great relationship, you got the woman of your dreams, you got the guy of your dreams, and you get with them, and then you just stop doing the things that actually attracted y'all in the first place. The relationship is on a decline.
It takes maintenance.
That's what it is. You're not out the woods yet. You can't stop just because once you get the opportunity, when, like you said, when people get that number 1 draft pick, now the work starts. You know, oh, you got your payday. Now the work starts. You did the interview for the job, the 3 interviews. You applied to grad school. You actually started a business. You got the LLC. Now the work starts.
Starts now.
But guess what? After that work starts, it's not going to stop once graduation happens. It's not going to stop at the end of your annual review. It's not going to stop once you get an LLC started. There's always things to actually achieve. So we got to stay in mentally peak shape, like mental peak fitness, if that's the thing. Mental fitness.
It is.
Mental toughness. You know, the long gymnastics. So I do want to talk. We got I do want to talk a little bit about where's the area that you feel like you may have thought you were out of the woods in, and you was like, oh, I got a long way to go.
Every area.
Pick one. Try to pick one.
Let's say because I don't think I felt like I didn't think I was out the woods. Let's say physically, I felt like I made the most stride, right? I thought going through certain experiences that presented a challenge, like an alarm, like, okay, you go to the doctor, they say you got high cholesterol, you got high blood pressure, you got this, and then you minimize that, and you like, oh, your blood pressure is actually fine now. You may think that you're out the woods. You may revert back to the things that you were doing, and now you go, you know what I'm saying? You back with high blood pressure, back with high cholesterol. You know, so for myself, it was like it was physically, I thought I was out the woods, but it's the life journey. I realized I had to develop skills that in exchange of an approach to a life or lifestyle, this is my new norm, the way I live it. And so I realized I wasn't out the woods because I was still making the same choices that put me that placed me either back into the space I was in, or I stopped. And I'm thinking, like, when I'm painting this picture of being in the woods, I'm really in the woods, and I'm using different visuals to paint that depiction. So I stopped. I'm in the woods. I'm like, yeah, I made it. I'm here. I haven't progressed anywhere. Like, because I haven't sat down and said, okay, even if there's no direction, I have to still make a decision on, like, what's the direction, and I got to keep going down that path, regardless of what type of obstacles it brings. We talk about UT, and I don't know why. Like, in my depiction, I think about the enslavement. Like, just imagine, like, you run it. You are maneuvering for your life. It wasn't no time to stop somewhere and be like, yeah, I made it. You got away from what the thing was that was hindering you, but you ain't made. You still in these woods. There's still a journey that you must continue to go to in order to reach whatever pinnacle it may be. And that just comes with blind faith. It's like, oh, we fleeing from the south, we're going to the north. A lot of people made it to the north, but you had to keep going without a direction, without a map. And you have to look up and realize, oh, I gotta shine the light. Like, yeah, I got some extra hope. I got some hope because now I'm out the wood. I'm out the woods. It's actually streets. There's roads and pavement. And there's still a journey. It's still a journey. And so for me, it was physically. I thought I was out the woods physically because I was able to get my vitals to where they were supposed to be. Like, that's crazy. That I thought about, like, I'm at a deficit. And when I got to a place of regularity and not even peaking at an optimal level where, like, my blood is, like, excellent. They're just good. I went from bad to good, and I thought I was out the woods.
And then what happened?
What happened was I got a reality shock again, to where there's indicators to remind you you're not out the woods. First, that comes physically. First that comes personally. Oh man, I ain't feeling how I was feeling when I had all that morale, and I went from bad to good, and now I'm kind of like teetering in between. I ain't not so good at satisfactory level. It's like, what happened was I had a dose of reality in that. And then when I started to get the tutelage and the mentorship from, similar to how your pops said, you're not out the woods, I started to go through my own personal experiences and journeys and realize, like, oh, this is what this means. This is a consistent battle of perseverance, and it's with self. So what happened was I had to realize where I was, that reflection. I had to realize where I was unsuccessful, and then change a lot of those habits and create new behaviors, which is now my lifestyle moving forward. So that was the thing. And then I actually have direction now. I actually understand this isn't just let me do this for 3 months to look like this. No, this is what I want to maintain for the duration of my life. This is based and predicated on me physically living, and not putting myself in any type of position to falter through disease, through illness, I'm giving myself higher probability. So what happened was I had to get slapped on the head in life, and a reminder of, like, no, this is your lifestyle now. So if you in this, you in it to win it. And you gotta figure it out.
No, I appreciate you sharing that, man. That's just when you thought it was sweet. You know what I mean?
For real.
Just when you thought it was sweet. And I know we got about 5 minutes before the break. If you're just now tuning in to us, just make sure y'all go and check us out on Instagram. I am at dgreen_still_on_purpose.
Ooh, Danny _follow_fit. And I might change that to Danny the counselor very soon.
Yeah, so make sure you check that out. Also, we have the Sum of the Giants coming up this Sunday. This Sunday is
June 26th.
Listening to this, but it'll be June 26th, happening in El Segundo. It's gonna be great. We're collaborating with the Minority Psychology Network. They're doing amazing work when it comes to bringing Black professionals, mental health professionals, doctors to those who need it most, and really talking about, and unveiling a lot of the importance of seeing a therapist as it pertains to our culture. So that'll be this upcoming Sunday. For myself, and I know I'll start here and then we can pick it up after as well. Is I wanted to get a little real with y'all and let y'all know where, when I think about not being out the woods, where that came into play most recently. And it is, hold on, got the soundtrack over me. You know what I'm saying? It is that I realized that I am an entrepreneur. I've committed myself to be an entrepreneur, and I've never been an entrepreneur before.
Mm.
I have an LLC that's been started for years. I got income being generated. I have a logo. I have a website. I have, some brand awareness, and I have no experience as an entrepreneur. So for those who might think, like I did at one point, right, you got to start somewhere, that those are the things that actually make you what we used to call back in the day a businessman. They're not. That's like the starting blocks. That's just a prerequisite. But you need to be able to own to have systems. That's what I recognize. I didn't have any systems. You need accountability. You need goals, not just goals like, oh, I'm gonna accomplish it this year, but you need financial goals. You need budgeting. You need projections. You need to understand your resources. You need to understand which quarter of the year you're doing which activities to support your business. And I recognize that I'm learning these things, but when I make this commitment to be a full entrepreneur, I have a family.
Mm.
I'm a father. I'm a husband. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with, saying I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And you realize that if you don't do these things where you are right, where I am right now in terms of how I generate revenue for my income for my family, I got to put my foot on the gas every day. Right, because if you don't, then the bills, you're not out of the place where your bills are just taken care of, and where food is just gonna keep flowing in here, and the $7 gas gonna keep getting filled up to the brim.
Ooh.
That has a shelf life on it. So I realize I'm not out the woods in that I don't have the luxury, and most of us don't, regardless of what the perceived situation is. If I don't go get it, then it can all be gone today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How long can you keep up what you're doing, that good work that you're talking about? You're not out the woods yet, meaning you can't take a vacation for 2 weeks right now. You know what I mean? You can't just ignore your emails right now. You can't, rest and not go shake the hands and kiss the babies, as I always say. You can't do that because you're not out the woods yet. You don't have the account that's so stacked up that you can turn a blind eye to opportunities that might be fitting for you. You can't deny learning. And I had to really recognize these things because it's like, you're not a little kid trying to big boy.
Mm.
You're not a little kid trying to big boy. You know what I mean? You need to be a big boy, right?
100%.
You need to be a big boy. And so for myself, it really rings true because it's like it lights a fire under me and lets me know, like you said, I'm not where I started, but I'm far away from where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to be where I am. But you can't stay here. You're either growing or you're decreasing. You're either increasing or decreasing. Ain't no staying the same.
Not at all.
So, and if I'm not increasing in the goals that I have for me and my family, then I'm going the other way. So, for those who are listening who might be thinking, like, no, I'm doing pretty well. If you're not growing and you're not progressing, then you're going the other way. So there's not really a stay still, stay sturdy. It's either you use it or lose it. You grow it, or it's gonna start getting eaten at. So for me, that's been the biggest thing, understanding that I'm an entrepreneur and putting the rookie entrepreneur hat on. So, let me ask questions. Let me get vulnerable. Let me just really say, like, it ain't about being right. It's about being in a position to take care of my family.
Efficiency.
I got a goal to take my family on 3 family trips this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I want to pay, like, cool. Then you need to be able to apply yourself and understand that if you are tripping, y'all ain't tripping. See y'all in a minute, man. We appreciate y'all. Be right back.
We're gonna pick this up.
Yeah, y'all.
Every Monday and Wednesday to get your morning started off right.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mysterious Jax from.
We on camera, but it went away. Yeah, y'all.
Every Monday and Wednesday to get your morning started off right.
Mysterious Jax from.
On camera with it. Yeah, y'all. We'll be
Every
right on
Monday
back.
and Wednesday to get your morning started off right.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mysterious Jax from.
On camera with it. Apologies, y'all. Wizard Kelly, y'all.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mysterious Jax from.
On camera with it. Apologies, y'all. Oh, we actually back on, I think, with the time.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we are back. We're back. If we're not back, let us know. But we are back. Welcome back from the break. Hopefully y'all got a chance to catch those commercials. If you haven't, I know they're talking about some amazing things, making sure that you're sharing the app with your friends, with your family. If you enjoy the shows that are on here, if you support Black and Brown Media, be sure to share these. Share our link with whoever you feel like will be a good person to share it with. We're talking about you're not out the woods yet. You're not out the woods yet. You cannot rest. You cannot rest for long. You cannot get comfortable here. Getting comfortable here means the demise, means the downfall of whatever you've built so far. Be grateful that you are not where you were, but understand that you're not where you were, and you still have a ways to go until you get to where you need to go. It's not about being humble. It is about being aware, right? And I think humility is overrated a lot of times because it keeps people thinking small about themselves or trying to not come across as too confident. But it's okay when you're on a mission. But when you downplay the amount of work necessary to accomplish the goals like I've set for myself and my family, like I know you've set for yourself and your family, Denny, you know, it's really important to say like, damn, okay, let me stop, let me reflect, but let me also keep learning. I got 10 hours a week right now dedicated to learning. I got 10 hours a week right now dedicated to working out, and I got another 10 hours dedicated to intentional time. And it might sound too rigorous for some folks, but the truth is, I understand what I've prayed for, what I asked God for, the stages that I've asked to be on, the people that I've asked to be in relationship with, you know, the money I've asked to touch.
It's a responsibility that comes with all that too.
There's a certain health. Everything matters in that. You know, you get the invitation today to the place that you wanted to go, to the thing you wanted to be a part of, and you ain't worked on yourself all year, so you ain't ready. You don't feel comfortable in there. Your energy ain't right. You know, you ain't out the woods yet. You don't know what opportunities God got for you. You don't know what opportunities you are manifesting for yourself right now. And if you think that you've made it, just go ahead and check out your report card next year when it comes to your level of happiness meeting the level of income that you aspire to.
And that's so real. I want to just repeat, no resting on your laurels. When you posed the question earlier, you know, an area of being in the woods, and I use physically, but I feel like all these things show up just how you got 10 hours dedicated to learning, 10 hours dedicated to physical, 10 hours dedicated to these different areas, right? People don't realize you still got to do those 10 hours. If you analogize this being in the woods, and it said, let's say you had to hand off your work, your efforts. Like if we both in the woods, right? Just roll with me on this one. We both in the woods, we doing our thing. And we stopped and we presented with an opportunity, like, all right, you can actually take, you know, this physical, you can turn this journey into a physical piece, and you can hand it to Devontae and let him continue this thing for you, right? After you do self-inventory, or let's just use yourself. If you're using yourself, it's like, damn, do I even trust the fact, like, you look at yourself in the mirror, like, do I trust the fact that I'm comfortable with being in the woods? Like that inventory, that, like, if you had like a realization of like where I am now, most people, this is just my opinion, are probably like, nah, I don't even trust myself to like where I am right now, and for what it needs, where I need to go, and what type of perseverance I need to display. Like, am I there yet? Like that's what I think about being in the woods. Like let me be 100% real with myself about these components and these aspects. And if I had to hand it off, like I don't trust this person, well, damn, I barely trust myself with it. So I got more work to do. That's when I knew, you know, you get these indicators in life, like no matter how they show up, you know, how they present themselves. I thought, and I'm gonna just be very vulnerable. I really thought the relationship I had with myself and my son's mom was copacetic. Self accountability, saying like she may have ways she wanted to communicate or lack thereof, and never did that. But then it comes to a point where you just moving, you thinking you out the woods, you just moving accordingly, and it's in this partnership and never really checking in. And you know, those things is like it's relative of like who's responsible for what or which how. But if you just moving and it comes to a crash course, like you just meet the heads, and however, whatever that energy is, you just kind of gotta deal with it. And it's like, wow, I thought in my mind everything was copacetic. It was great, but it doesn't work like that. So I realized, like through a hard, challenging moment, that I'm not out the woods. There is more work to do, as in developing, as in protecting yourself as a person, as a dad first, and then protecting another little human that you share with the whole nother person, regardless of if you're married, if you're not, like you said, if you in a marriage, it takes maintenance. You in a co-parenting, it takes maintenance. So I thought I was out the woods. I thought everything was great, but it's still a point where you got to take a self-assessment and realize it may not be. It may not be that. And so you got to continuously, and I say all this to say, you got to continuously work on the things that will ascend you. That's just been my mantra. And I know for me, I've been ascending in certain areas, but with those areas, there's going to be a new challenge. And so we talk about, go back to the original thing that I presented of this enslavement, right? You think you out the woods and you got away from said area, said plantation, and you got far as hell. They will send the dogs on your ass. You cannot rest on your laurels, not for your freedom, not for the sake of comfort. I reject that so strongly. And so the question you asked earlier is like, damn, when did you realize? I realized I was resting on comfort. And you as an entrepreneur, and please enlighten me with some of your wisdom. I could only fathom that it wasn't even just comfort. It was just like, well, shit, I'm doing well enough, but it wasn't enough because it wasn't big boy.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Yeah, bro. I think for me, you know, when we talk about being real with yourself,
How does
I know, bro. Thank you for also your vulnerability, bro. Salute to that. You know, because that's something that I dealt with. So many people deal with that don't never ever talk about. You know, just that whole, you know, we talk about vulnerability. That's a high level of vulnerability. And I think for myself, I realized that most people, respectfully, are full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean is, you know, you're really looking. People say they don't care what other folks think, but they really care about what certain people think. You know, everybody cares about what a particular group of people think. You might not care what everybody think. You might not care what I think, but you might care what your family think. You might not care what your family think, but you care about the people at your job think. You might not care what the people at the job think, but you care about what your partner think. You know what I mean? Like this, somebody cares, but it's like who you care, whose opinion you care about would do a lot to will mean a lot to your goals. Because I recognize that a lot of folks, and I fell victim to it, you know, I felt victim to it. I'm not a victim. Yeah.
Negatively or positively or both?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. Your influence
Both
matters.
of them.
You know what I mean? I would say both. BOF. You know what I'm saying? Both. But the thing is, like, if you are trying to impress, let's say I'm a street dude, you know, which I'm not. But let's say, you know, I care about what these streets think about me. I care about what the dudes in the street think about me. I care about what my gang think about me. I'm about to get savage out here. You know, as long as I can go to jail for 15 years, a lot of times to be like, yo, the hood respect me though. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, You don't gotta. You can go to jail 15. And this ain't everybody, but let's just say this for this scenario. Let's say everybody in my family went to medical school, and I'm now going. The expectation is now that I go to medical school. As long as I go to medical school, I make the group of people that I care about their opinion. I make them happy, and we have a huge influx of folks who are just interested in this entrepreneurship ideology. It's like this romanticized version of entrepreneurship. And when you get other people who who've never experienced successful entrepreneurship, and you might do something like make a website, get a shirt printed up, get an LLC. And to the people who ain't never did this, but these are the people you care about, if they say like, damn, Devontae, you killing it, bro. You got a business, you got an LLC, the website, and the t-shirt press, your logo, you can stop right there. You can stop right there. If you can, what Drake say? If I was doing this for you, then I have nothing left to prove.
Oh.
And I recognize that that's not good enough. That's not real. I can't do nothing with that.
It's not.
I can't do nothing with the opinion of folks. I need real results. I need real money. I need real trips. I need a real roof. I need real rooms in here. I need real savings. I need real investments. And that's not gonna come from playing.
It takes real work.
Everybody, look, I don't even like talking to people like that no more. I'm on here because we this is what we do on Wednesdays. Like, look, man, you don't gotta have it all figured out. I'm still trying to figure it out, but you should be trying to figure it out. So I think I got real, and I said I ain't out the woods yet. Don't let these people who just have less than you, or who started later than you, or who don't have the ambition that you have or the size of the goal that you have, hype you up to feel like you done made it somewhere, man.
Because it's fabricated. It's not sustainable. And what it's gonna do is gonna depict a picture of success with no real results. I'm really at this point, and that's why I appreciate. Give a round of applause. Yeah, round of applause. Yeah, that's what we do. Honestly, that's why I enjoy these. I'm with you. I enjoyed these moments during our show live from the den, because we are at a point where we don't really we walk it. We're walking it and not talking it. And this is our time to talk it. There's time, intentional time carved out to talk it. Right. But what I was trying to paint with that analogy earlier of like looking yourself like in the woods, and you like, do I trust myself? Like, yeah, like I was full of shit with myself at a juncture. And a lot of people are still there. And hey, your choice is your choice.
Most people are still there. I would say the person that's listening to this, you still there. Bro, I'm still unpacking my bullshit. This is not a show of those who got it figured out. We in the trenches right now, live from the den. We in the trenches.
For sure.
Y'all listening to people who trying to build something. You feel me? This ain't no get on here and talk like we know it. We talking like we live it, like you said. And it ain't all sweet, but it's when you in the woods and you know that you an animal, we know that you a beast, you gonna walk out of here. If you don't got no goal, let's say if you're in the woods, but you don't got no goal to get out the woods. You just got to go to get from where you started at.
You will get dragged back to point A.
And even if you stay here, ain't no success without no goals. Ain't no without a destination set, you can't set the course. You can't say, hey, we made it. Because you ain't got no destination set. You wake up every day just taking it as it go. Oh man, it was a long day. This didn't work. You running on the hamster wheel. And that's cool, but you're not out the woods yet if you're talking about sending your kids to college and paying for that. You ain't out the woods yet if you're talking about home ownership without having to be stressed over, gas or groceries. So I just think most people are full of shit. And it's only when you understand that what you have, like what am I still lying to myself about? Because if I'm still lying to myself, ain't no fake success, bro. Like ain't no, like after 3 months of lying to yourself,
you can't fake the funk. It's only so long you can live in a fabricated reality, not reality, a fabricated fantasy. I love the fact that you said, like, you may see someone that is further along in LLC, or like people like you set out a goal, and it's cool. Like you got your LLC, you got your printing machine, you going. That's cool. That ain't it though. That ain't it. Like to me, I'm at the point of my life where I understand. Like I respect people that can talk to me from being in the woods. Basically, you lost it and you got it back. That's an experience that I can respect, and that's admirable. Like, then I touched 500,000. I was in the woods, and I didn't know what to do with it, and I blew it. I didn't rest on my laurels. I went down on myself. I didn't sit on my ass. I went through some challenges, right? I felt the emotions, but I wasn't stagnant. I got up. I figured out another formula. I recreated a plan and I got after it again and I got it back. So when we talk about, being in the woods, and Devontae mentioned it, like we still figuring it out. And we think about this idea of the purpose of live from the den in this show and to walk away with some modalities. This is give you not only the energy, but give you the real conversation of some real men that are going through life and that are getting chinks in the armor, but still sharpening iron together.
Yeah, D. To your point about losing and getting it back, I want to take it from money and move it to what we talked about earlier with health.
Yes, sir.
I'm 33. I just turned 33 last month. Young guy, best shape I've ever been in my life. If you didn't know, I used to be 350 pounds, 51% body fat.
Looking good,
right? Appreciate it, man. And I'm still on my journey. But let's say I reach, I'm in a good shape right now. But let's say some months go by, I got my six pack, got my lower abs. Those are the hardest. Got my lower abs. You know what I mean? I got the body fat, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And at 30, let's say at 34, then I just stop. At 34, no matter how much I experienced years of working out, get to 34, get to peak physical shape. What does that mean for 44? Am I now not going to get diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, heart disease at 54 or 64? Because I used to work out at 34. Hell no.
Nope.
You still ain't out the woods yet. You still can get all those things that kill black men early. It don't matter that you used to work out when you was 27, when you was 33, when you was 35. This is a long game. You're not going to be out these woods either. My Grangie is 90 years old. She's in the garden. She has a gym every day, goes to the pool.
Beautiful.
That's the dedication.
I ran into her at Trader Joe's.
And Grangie going to Trader Joe's. And I just think that is something that so many, it don't matter if you was popping in high school. That don't mean that you're going to be good after high school. It don't matter if you was popping in college. It don't matter. You have to be able to consistently show up for yourself and your goals. Find out not where your weak points are. We all have areas that are challenging for us. It's not about becoming this perfect thing. We're not perfect. We're not telling you to be perfect. We saying that if you got
you're not gonna be
goals, if you don't want to die early and become another statistic, black men have the lowest life expectancy in America. If you don't want to be another black man who just dies at 60 and they're like, oh, it was this and it was that, it was this, it was that. It is also from the years of neglect, acting like everything was just going to be copacetic from your 33 year when you used to work out at 33. Bro, you 63. You 53. If you ain't working out at 52, at 53, then you don't get credit for that. You're not out the woods. We can't act like we are. So when it comes to money, when it comes to relationship, I'm married. Just over a year into my marriage.
Congratulations.
Recognizing that, we rookies. There's you just can't rest. Oh, she said yes. Oh, we got the paperwork. We legal. Our families get along. Yeah, all this stuff.
Rookie hat.
Hey, you're not out the woods yet. You have every successful married couple that's been together for a substantial amount of time. They say one thing. Oh, marriage is gonna take work.
It's gonna work, and that's what we talked about for every aspect we've mentioned in this wheel. You can take, and I challenge you if you're listening, just take top 5 some areas in your life where you can generalize. So let's take a financial, take a physical, take a mental if you're in a relationship, or pick a relationship that you want to work on. Parental, if you the parent or if you trying to have a better relationship with your parent, if you're a husband, if you're in a serious relationship, and you gauge those things, gauge them out of 10. Really rate those things. And then see what type of work, that you need to implement, because you definitely not out the woods. These they lap over just as well as you say, physically, right? You talked about that. You don't want to be the person that is in bad shape at 60. 60 is young, first and foremost. You don't want to be that person that like, look at me at 35. Yeah, but look at you on in your demise, because the same formula that you had to get you to a point, and you rested on your laurels, and you got in the woods, and you stopped, and you got complacent, and you start smiling, you start feeling yourself. See, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna tie it back to the sports thing. I still hoop, man. I still out here. I'm an OG now. I just realized that I'm an OG on the court. I didn't know I was an OG, but these kids nowadays don't play defense. And on Juneteenth, we was at our homie Lamar celebration, and it was his son. Now we all 30 plus. And the young men were about 16 to 17. It was a point where they got us down. We going to 7. It's like 6-1. And they started doing a little showboating things, little eyes, pat on the head, do all these little things. And I told him, I was like, bro, the game ain't over. You ain't out. I ain't say you ain't out the woods. That energy, the game ain't over. You ain't out the woods yet, bro. You still got to see me. Now I'm applying a little bit more pressure. I'm showing a little bit more. And what was the outcome of that game?
Oh man, I was on the team with the young dude. We got.
But you understand?
Yeah,
I didn't get smoked, but it was because he put it on his back. He lost.
Taunting, stopped playing defense, stopped passing the ball. Thought we was just gonna win. It's gonna be easy.
You thought you was out the woods.
Yeah.
You thought you was out the woods, and I'm saying I'm only using this analogy because this is very applicable for life skills. You not out the woods. You better not stop working. And then if you and they're not comparing anything, but there's a pinnacle in everything. If you look at the top and you say like, oh, I got to a point, I'm good. Like I was at the gym working out, and I had a goal of going in there 45 minutes going heavy. I hit heavy. One of the guys heavy, and I seen a lady in there going heavy as me, and she went longer. It gave me I got another 30 minutes in because it was motivation. But I was in a space where I was able to recognize the work, so it wasn't a discouraging thing. It was a motivating thing, and that's what you got to realize too. When you think when you in the woods, and things start to get weary, and you start to wither in your faith, it's easy to digress and easy to quit and go back. But if you in a mindset, if I'm in the woods and I'm in a mindset of victory, and I'm in a mindset of I have a goal, and my goal is to get out or to continue till I see so I see the light of day, it will conspire in your favor. Because you are doing it like when let me ask you this, bro. Have you ever did something consistently with intentionality and got worse?
I ain't never did nothing and got worse.
Nah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you ever put in some great work and didn't learn anything from it?
Nah.
This is what I'm saying. You ain't out the woods. The work is continuous. The work is a nonstop progressiveness, and you'll be able to identify and work better once you are in a space of, I like to call victory, because then you're able to recognize somebody that's wanting to be a mentor. You're able to recognize tutelage. And then people were able to recognize and identify you and pull you up too, because you ain't gonna be able to do it by yourself. But if you ain't doing no work, nobody want to rock with you. Nobody want to partner with you. Nobody want to care about you if you ain't doing it for yourself, especially if they in the trenches doing it for themselves. I'm not about to hand over. I'm not about to give it to you because I don't trust you. I barely trust myself, and I'm figuring it out. So, yeah, bro, I appreciate this conversation. I know our listeners do too. Because you're not out the woods.
Yeah, I would, man. I know we got a few minutes. If I can leave any thing to stick into y'all minds, because this is definitely what has been living with me all week, and it will keep living with me, is we talk about using the same analogy of the woods and being in the woods. Like, why are you out here? Why are you out here? Why are you in these streets? Why are you in these business? Why are you at this job? Why are you in this relationship? Why you live here? Why? Because if you just out here, cool. That's good. You know, do what you do. But if you are somebody who's trying to get through the woods, that means you have a goal. And everything that's happening in between here and the goal is a stepping stone, is a learning opportunity, but it ain't to be rested upon. You know, so find some goals, you know, and have those goals be big enough to where you can't rest. Have some accountability for yourself, and those around you has accountability, help you with that accountability to achieve these goals. Ain't no point in just being out here. Ain't no point in just acting like it. And you know, and if you don't have goals that are clearly defined, it's gonna be very easy to get off track because you don't know you off track because you never even know the track you're supposed to be on in the first place. You know, so I don't knock nobody for hanging out and partying in the woods, but for those who act like they trying to get through and they ain't even taking no real action toward it, you know, let those people who trying to get to the end or trying to really elevate and see what they made of in this lifetime, let them see what they could do, man. Just let them go ahead. You ain't got to keep fronting like you about that. Don't get up, stop messing with these people. You know what I'm saying? But we do have this Sunday, man, June 26th. We definitely happy. Hey, that was my joke. But that's the actual one right there. June 26th, we actually have the Black Mental Wealth Focus at the Summit of Giants this Sunday, 10 to 3.
It's gonna be
wrap
great,
around 2. It's gonna be amazing. Emails did go out. If you're interested in coming out to the summit, please get at us. You can hit us on Instagram at _Giants_den.
Hit us up.
Hit us up on email at info@thegiantsden.com. We'll see you soon.
Peace.
Where we at? You hit the green bubble. It'll go down.
I don't even see it.
It's a hidden screen up there too. I don't know where with the StreamYard.
I want to be a personal fan of this motherfucker next time.
StreamYard.
Yeah, I was there sweating. Still out here, baby.